Today, Hull House is a national landmark. It was a settlement founded by Jane Addams and her college friend, Ellen Gates Starr, where a new breed of urban pioneers advocated reforms they believed would bring about respect for work and workers, improve urban life, and promote a citizenship that valued cultural differences.
I find that a good many boys and girls come to Hull House and don't know that it's called a settlement at all. And Hull House, 40 years ago, was one of those first settlements started in America. And all during the years, a great many boys and girls and men and women have come to Hull House, sometimes at the rate of 10,000 people a week.
Jane Addams was born in 1860 in Cedarville, Illinois. Her father, John Addams, was a prosperous miller and banker and represented Cedarville in the Illinois State Senate, where he served several terms. In her book, 20 Years at Hull House, Jane Addams credited her father with influencing her conception of democracy. She knew of his opposition to slavery and of his friendship with and admiration for Abraham Lincoln. Where John Adams's generation was challenged by the question of whether the United States would end the slave system, Jane Addams' generation was challenged to redefine American democracy in an urban society characterized by great inequalities of wealth. Like many, Addams struggled against conforming to a traditional female role. A member of the first generation of American women to attend college, she was ambitious both to launch a career and to lessen inequality and increase social justice. As was common for upper middle-class women of her day, Addams visited museums and cathedrals in European cities with family and friends. On her second trip to Europe, Addams was joined by her college friend, Ellen Gates Starr. Starr had been teaching in a female academy in Chicago. The two women noticed the extremes of wealth and poverty. While in England, Addams toured the crowded, industrialized East End of London. There she visited Toynbee Hall, a pioneer social settlement founded by Samuel and Henrietta Barnett. The visit influenced Addams' decision to live in a working-class neighborhood in Chicago and establish a social settlement with similar activities. Back in Chicago, the two women discussed their idea to start a settlement house, and on September 18, 1889, Jane Addams and Ellen Gates Starr opened Hull House. It was neither a charity nor a religious association, but would become a community center where residents would live cooperatively and pay rent and board. By living in the neighborhood, they would learn about its needs, and Hull House residents would volunteer and offer cultural and educational activities in hope that their immigrant neighbors would participate. Addams and Starr furnished Hull House much as they would their own home and encouraged like-minded women and men to join them as residents. They rented the once elegant home of deceased real estate developer Charles Hull, which was built in 1856. Set back from Halsted Street on the city's near west side, the old house had not served as a family residence for many years. By the 1880s, this near west side neighborhood had a cosmopolitan air, but was congested and the point of entry for at least 24 different ethnic groups. To the east of Hull House, recent Italian immigrants joined Irish and German families who had preceded them in the area. South of Hull House, in the Maxwell Street Market area, was the Eastern European Jewish community. Here, immigrants from Russia, Poland, Lithuania, Hungary, and many other countries established a complex community based on Jewish traditions.